Hi guys. Yeah, so we've changed environments today. We are doing an outdoor kind of content. I'm just going to answer most of your questions with regards to study in Italy. I've been ignoring them because it was summer. Your girl has to make money, so I wasn't consistent here. I think I posted once or twice. Yeah, I think. But now I just want to answer some of your questions, and then if there are some that I am unable to answer, or any school that you wish to apply to in Italy, I presume you can just log on to the internet and then Google about that particular school. So let's get right into your questions. The first question, I think this is an interesting one. I would like to ask, can one defer studies for a certain period? Okay, I think I've already said the Italian education system is quite flexible, so I think it's possible you can defer. You just need to go through the right procedure, and then so that you don't lose your scholarship, provided you're on scholarship. But yes, you can defer your course. Also, you mentioned that once you get your residence permit, you can travel to other Schengen countries. Yes, of course, you don't have any limit if you have your residence permits, provided it's very active. For me, the countries that I've been through, they don't even check your residence permits. Okay, they just want to know your passport number, the key into the system, and that's it. For me, it's cheap because it's like if you are a Ghanaian and you are moving by flight to Kumasi, it's the same payments. So you are moving to Kumasi and I am moving to maybe Hungary or Malta or like Stockholm. It's the same. So I feel it's quite cheap and it's quite flexible. So yeah, it's that simple. This one says, does regional scholarship have age limits? Can an adult self-sponsored applicant apply for family low-income scholarship? I don't know much about the regional scholarships, but I think every information about the regional scholarship is online. You can just research about this to know the age limit. How the Italian system works on giving you the fees to pay or the scholarship you will gain is that they look at your family income. Everyone is not the same. So they look at maybe a family earning higher should have a higher income, and that your school fees should also be higher. So if you are coming from a very low income family, they look at your family status and then give you the fees to pay. And then when you are applying for the documents they use to determine your family income, you don't need any documents to prove that. Okay, I don't know about other regions, but for my region, you don't need any document. It's quite simple and you get it within 10 days. And there are some that I know you can even apply online. Some of my colleagues have done it. So yeah, your family income will determine the scholarship you get or the school fees you pay. The next one is, I can't find courses in my field in English. If I enroll for the course in Italian, are the exams too in English? Because I can't speak Italian, but I've got a school. So mostly Italian undergraduates are in Italian language, okay? And then for masters, I know are in English or Italian, but for my school, masters are basically English. Because I learned they added the English language in the Italian school system not too long ago. I think, I'm sorry about the noise. So they added English language into their system not quite long ago. So for master's studies, you get English courses, but undergraduates, it's strictly Italian for my school that I know, and I know for some school as well. But then you can find out about that on the school that you're applying for websites. Someone asked, how much do you need to proof of funds for visa application? I guess he's trying to say, how much do you need as a proof of fund for Italian visa application? Mostly it's not even stated on the embassy websites. Okay, they just want to know whether you are financially capable of staying in the country if you are sponsoring yourself or even you're on scholarship. So for my visa application, I think I just provided 20,000 in my bank statements, and then I added some documents proving that my family has this property somewhere. So it's not really specified. Because I was on scholarship, I think that also helped me for me not to have like that huge funds in my accounts. But it depends. People even had about 70,000 in their accounts, but they got bounced. So you can't really predict the Italian visa application system. So just go in with what you feel like will work for you. So someone asks, hello, when will the next admission commence, please? I'm sure you are talking about my school. So mostly the University of Calabria admissions and scholarship opens every year in April and it ends in May. So note that. Is there anything like postgraduate work permits after graduation? Yes. So after your graduation, you are allowed to stay in the country for 1 year. But then if you get a job opportunity, an internship, you will need a permit on that to stay longer. So they don't have any specific timeline after graduation or whatsoever, but you are freely to live here for 1 year. And then if you get a job opportunity or an internship program, you can provide permits for that and to make you to stay here for God knows when. Hello Theodora, I'm your follower. Can you help me apply for a school in Italy, please? So I am not a school administrator nor an immigration officer, but I can only give you guidance. Okay, you can reach out to me on my socials, and then any information that you need, of which I have an idea about, I can help you with that. But mostly the school that you want to apply to with the program of studies, I would tell you that you should be able to go on the internet and research about the school to know everything about it. That you do not need an agent for most of the school application, except it's demanded by the school. So you can literally have all the information you need about the school of your choice on the internet. So you just need to sit down. I know it's exhaustive, it's consuming, a lot of time and effort has to go into it, but you can literally do everything by yourself. Someone asks, how do we get the scholarships from Ghana? So I'm a Ghanaian and I got awarded the scholarship. And so when the portal or when the admission period comes, you just had to apply, and then you are granted if your documents are okay or whatsoever. Someone asks, what's the name of your school? Really? Meaning you've not watched all my previous videos. So I'm currently at the University of Calabria, Southern Italy. This is an interesting one. What are the part-time jobs which are available in Italy for international students? So I think every country has this problem. Okay, it's not just Italy. It's difficult to get a job, being it UK, US, Canada, whatsoever. But then in Italy, the only problem will be language barrier. Okay, because there are jobs available. I remember that I applied for some on Indeed, and then I got called. When I saw the description, it states like language wasn't a requirement, also Italian wasn't a requirement. But then I was called and the lady was like, no, you have to speak Italian whatsoever. Yeah. So but then most of the times it's this waitress jobs, cleaning, shop attendants and stuff like that. Most of the times in the summer there are a lot of tourists in the country, and so you'll be able to get one of these jobs, being it in the hotel, restaurant or whatsoever, which I did this summer, working in a hotel. Yeah, it was quite easy, and language wasn't really a requirement because we were not talking so much, but the little I could speak, I was trying. Yeah. Someone said I applied for the scholarship and I got it. Now I want someone to guide me through what to do next. So this has been answered on YouTube for you because I saw it was urgent. But then anybody that needs assistance for maybe next year, you can just reach out to me on my socials, and then I can give you guidance to any of the school applications or scholarship applications. That's all. But then if I left your question out, you can resend to me, and then I'll be more than willing to help you. Until then, thank you for watching to this point. If you have more questions, just leave it at the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.